She handed me the envelope like it was nothing. No trembling hands, no tears. Just a small, satisfied smirk on her face, like she had been waiting for this moment. We were standing in the kitchen, morning light coming through the window, coffee still warm on the counter. An ordinary day, except she had just ended our marriage with a piece of paper. "I think this is for the best," she said calmly. "You should read it." I didn't open it right away. I looked at her instead. The woman I had married, the woman I had defended, trusted, forgiven more times than I could count. The smirk told me everything before I even saw the words. Divorce papers. I felt something unexpected rise in me. Not anger, not panic. Clarity. "So," I said slowly, "this is how you want to do it." She crossed her arms, leaning against the counter, clearly enjoying the power shift. "I've already talked to a lawyer. You don't need to make this harder than it has to be." Harder. As if the late nights, the secret texts, the emotional distance, the gaslighting hadn't already done that. I finally opened the envelope, skimmed the pages. It was all there: assets, timelines, custody suggestions. She had planned this, carefully, methodically, probably while I was still trying to fix us. She watched my face closely, waiting for the reaction she wanted. Shock, begging, rage. Instead, I smiled. Her smirk faltered just a little. I looked up at her and said, "Okay." That single word changed the room. She blinked. "Okay?" I nodded. "Yeah, okay." Her confidence wavered. "You're not going to say anything else?" I folded the papers neatly and placed them on the table. "Actually," I said, still smiling, "I should thank you." Her eyes narrowed. "For what?" "For finally being honest." Silence stretched between us. She laughed awkwardly. "Don't play games. You think this doesn't hurt?" "Oh, I'm sure it does," I replied. "Just not in the way you expected." That's when she got defensive. "I'm not the villain here. You weren't perfect. You were distant. You stopped trying." I almost laughed. "I stopped chasing someone who had already left," I said evenly. "There's a difference." Her face hardened. "I didn't cheat." I tilted my head. "You don't have to sleep with someone to abandon your marriage." That one landed. She grabbed her phone, clearly uncomfortable now. "My lawyer said you'd probably try to manipulate me emotionally." I chuckled softly. "Funny. Mine said you'd try to control the narrative." That was the moment she realized something was off. "You talked to a lawyer?" she asked sharply. I nodded. "A while ago." Her smirk was gone now. Completely. "You knew this was coming?" she asked. "I knew something was," I said. "I just didn't know when you'd finally admit it." She scoffed. "So you're just going to roll over and sign?" I stood up, feeling lighter than I had in months. "No, I'm going to read everything carefully, protect what matters, and then I'm going to move on." That's when her voice rose. "That's it? After everything we've been through?" I met her eyes. "After everything we've been through, this is exactly it." She looked angry now, frustrated, like the script wasn't going the way she'd rehearsed. "You're not even fighting for us," she snapped. I smiled again, softer this time. "I fought for us when you stopped. Today, I'm fighting for myself." She didn't have a response to that. Over the next few weeks, the truth unraveled fast. Her friend became her boyfriend. The timelines overlapped more than she'd admitted. Mutual friends started seeing things clearly. I didn't expose her. I didn't need to. People always reveal themselves eventually. During mediation, she kept glancing at me, confused by my calm. I wasn't cold. I wasn't cruel. I was just done. At one point, she leaned over and whispered, "You're acting like this doesn't affect you." I whispered back, "It affects me enough to never let this happen again." That was the last real conversation we had. Months later, I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked tired, older somehow. The confidence she'd worn like armor was gone. She smiled awkwardly. "You look good." "I am," I said honestly. She hesitated. "Do you ever regret it? Not fighting harder?" I shook my head. "No. I regret fighting alone." She nodded slowly, like she finally understood, but far too late. When she handed me those divorce papers with a smirk, she thought she was winning, thought she was in control, thought I'd break. What she didn't realize was that I had already let go. And sometimes the most powerful response to betrayal isn't anger or revenge, it's peace. Because when you smile and walk away, you take back the one thing they thought they owned, your dignity.